Those tools and many more are powerful. That's why we want to use them. But they're also really expensive. All of them start at a 20 francs per month bill, and not all of us want or can pay this. That's why in this video, I will show you how to set up your own Coolify. It's a platform that allows you to self-host all those tools or alternatives to them very easily. So let's get started. First, what we will do is we will go to Hetzner, and what I will do here quickly is I will actually show you how this website looks like if you're not logged in, because I already have an account, of course. So Hetzner is just a server provider where you can host your own server, which is needed if you want to self-host your own Coolify. So what you need to do is you need to go here to login and then on cloud. And then you need to register now. You need to create a new account, and then you provide your email address and your password. And I think you need to add some more information in the process, but I cannot show this right now because I already have an account. But you need to enter your billing details and your shipping details and stuff like this, just like a normal registration process. Once you're done with that, it should look somewhat like this. It's just all empty. You don't have the projects here as I do. And then you can create a new project, as I will do right now. And I will go here and say Coolify demo and add the project. And now we have a project in Hetzner. And this allows us to do many things. We can add servers, we can add volumes, object storage, and so on. But the first thing we want to do, and maybe also the only thing we want to do basically, is we want to add a server here that we can self-host our stuff on. So we will go here, add server, and then it makes sense to select the location that is closest to you to reduce latency. For me, it will be one of the Germany locations, doesn't really matter. And then the image is like the OS, the operating system we can put on this server. It doesn't really matter for us because Coolify will handle this stuff anyways. So it's fine if we just go for Ubuntu. And then we can select the actual power that the server will have. So how much RAM and CPU and so on. And the cheapest ones, you will find them on ARM. And then this is like 356. So it's like less than $4, for francs, for euro, whatever. And with this, we can already get started. If you want to really go to production with this, I recommend going for something like 8 gigabytes or maybe even 16, because it's still just 6 or 12. Then you can definitely use that power that the server provides. But for this demo, it's fine to go with the smallest one. Then in networking, it's important that you have a public IPv4 address, but be aware this costs like half a euro per month, but you still need it. You don't necessarily need the IPv6, but you don't pay for it, so it doesn't really matter. And you can connect your SSH keys. This is recommended. And if you are a developer and you already have an SSH key, etc., I highly recommend this, but this guide should also work for non-techies. So I will do it without the SSH key, because this can bloat up the tutorial how to set up SSH keys, etc. So we will try to do it without this. Then you can add volumes. So what this is useful for, if you want to self-host services like a drive on your server, that you can have your own Google Drive or maybe your own storage where you upload stuff, etc. Then it's very valuable to attach a volume, because this is then better than just the 40 gigabytes you have here. What you can also do in the future is you could create an object storage. This is a service provided to exactly create large storages at a low price. You basically pay 5 euros for 1 terabyte, which seems like a really good deal to me, but we won't do this in this tutorial. If you want to see how to attach an object storage to add more storage to your Coolify at good rates. You can write it in the comments and I will then add a tutorial for that. But for now we are fine. We don't need a firewall. We currently don't need backups, placement groups, etc. So essentially we are finished, and the server name is fine for us because it's really descriptive. It shows the OS, the RAM, and the location where it's in. So we click on create and buy now. And now this server is getting started and we can take a look at it here. Now, while this is starting, we can check out Coolify itself. So what we can see here, this is the Coolify landing page, and they have like the cloud version, but also the self-hosted version, and essentially just allows you to have a dashboard to easily deploy anything. You can also deploy your own applications if you're building some. You can do whatever you want, but the most valuable thing here that we want to try out is deploying services, open source services that already exist. So we go here to self-hosted, and this is already the full getting started script for Coolify. So this is really impressive. They just set up everything you need with one command. So now what we do is we go back to Hetzner and we check out if our server is running. It seems like it's running and we already can see the IP address of it. You should be careful about leaking those IP addresses to the internet or people you don't trust, because other people could try to gain access to your Coolify or could try to DDoS it or stuff like this. And you generally don't want this, so be careful to not show it. I will take down the server anyways after this tutorial finished, so it doesn't really matter to leak it right here. What we need to do now is, if we have a SSH key set up now, we would directly connect through the terminal with SSH and then root at this IP. But since we don't have SSH set up, we try to do it in a different way right now. And this way is we try to open the terminal here. And I've never done it with this way, so I quickly need to search it. It's on the top right here on console. And now we actually set up the server and we need to provide the password, but I don't really remember setting a password. So we quickly go back out of this console. We come back here and maybe we need to reset the password first. So what we will do here is we go to rescue, reset root password. Reset root password, are you sure? Yes. So we will do this, and now it gives us the root password. So we save this, store this securely. I highly recommend storing this in like 1Password or something like this, and then you can always retrieve it later. But this is fine for us right now. So now we will try again. We open the console right here and try resetting this quickly. So we go for root and then enter the password. I hope it pasted it. So it didn't seem to paste it, so I will quickly restart the server. How you can do this is you can just go here, power off, and then power off, and then you can turn it on again. So maybe this is needed to actually reset the password. And what's also important is those web shells are sometimes not too interactive, so you're not always sure, did it actually paste the content, did it work, etc. And I will quickly show you a quick trick to see if stuff is working as expected, so you can identify whether it's working or not. So now we're starting the server again. It seems to be already booted, so we click on console again and try to start it. And now we can see it's booting right now. And then we can interact with it shortly. So now we are already here. And what I do now is the feature basically with Linux is that it's not showing while you're typing the password for security reasons, that someone cannot look on your screen and see how long is your password, etc. So when you paste the password, you actually don't see whether it entered or not. And what I like to do, especially in those web windows, because they're not always too intuitive to use, is I try to paste the password right now, and now I try to paste it, but I can actually see it's not working. It's not entering it, because if I paste something right here in the login where I specify the username, it actually should show the password if I paste it. And if it doesn't, like it is doing right now, it seems like my pasting is not working properly. So now what I will do is I will try to make this work, maybe with some other shortcuts. And I quickly need to disable I have like a browser extension that allows me to do shortcuts. I quickly disable this and I'll be right back. So unfortunately, I didn't manage to make it work on Mac to be able to paste into this web shell. So we will just go with the next best alternative, and it's just typing the password by hand. So we will give this a shot. So first I go with root, and now I type the password without feedback. So stay with me and I hope this actually works. So I will try this. So I actually got it right. I'm happy about this, because otherwise this would have been a pain, but we're fine. So now we're logged into the server, so I can actually see on the left, I am on the server right now. So what I can do now is go back to Coolify and grab this install command. So you need everything with the curl and the bash at the end. You can copy this, and I hope I can paste this again, because otherwise I need to type this as well. So I guess that's part of the web shell, that we cannot paste anything at all. So I take this as well, go here and paste this here so I can see it here, and type the command as well. If you can set up SSH key, do this in the setup if you know how to do this, because then you can paste in your normal terminal and you will be faster with this. If you're not a dev, don't set up the SSH key. I think it's easier like this, even if it's a bit painful with typing stuff, but it's the only thing we will need, because afterwards we're in the Coolify dashboard anyways. So we go with curl -fssl, and you need to ensure that you're typing the right things here, fssl, because apparently it's an English keyboard, it seems like. So I go with this. And exactly, this seems to work. cdn.coolify/coolify/install.sh, and then pipe. Oh, this will be painful. Okay. So it's gonna be painful to actually enter a pipe in here, I just figured out, because when I try to press a type in the terminal, it takes it as a special character, and I don't actually want this. So I will quickly figure out how to do this, and I will be right back. Okay, so welcome back. I've managed to enter a pipe. So what did the trick for me is I enter sudo load keys ch, and this changes the keyboard layout to Swiss keyboard layout, and there I know where the pipe is. So as soon as I enter this, I can then press Option and 7, which is the pipe on a Swiss Mac keyboard, and there I get the pipe. So try to figure out which keyboard layout you need. You could also load keys US or something like this. For me it was CH. And then Option or Alt 7 should do the trick for Swiss layouts. Then what we do again is we try to copy or type this command. So we go for curl -fssl https cdn coollabs.io/coolify/install.sh, and now the pipe and bash. And as soon as we run this, we can see, welcome to Coolify installer. It detects what server we have, what configuration we have on the server, and it just starts the install process right away. I will be back once this is finished. So we're finished. This took about 2 minutes for me. It probably will take similar time for you if you host on Hetzner, of course. And you can see that it's finished by this congratulations screen, but also by your address being public. So now what you can see here is you can access Coolify through your public IPv4 here. So now we will try this. I will open a new screen, 138.199.196.43 and column 8000. This is important. This specifies the port because there the dashboard is running. Once we do this, we can see the Coolify dashboard and we can create an account because it's the first time we log in here. We will just go with Ralf at boltzhauser.com is fine. And then password, we just enter some random password because I will delete this anyways. If you can put the proper password and store this properly, because if someone gets access to this, they can take down and take everything on your Coolify. You don't want this. So then we can register and we can see that they are actually not happy with our password. So we'll provide a proper password and register. Now we get started and it's explaining us Coolify. You can read through this if you like to, but for us, we will speed up this a little bit. Here it's important, you want to select localhost if you want to deploy your services and resources on the same server as you have your Coolify dashboard. For most people, that's totally fine. Some want to have a remote server and another server running Coolify, so this doesn't interfere, and if one goes down, they still can control it, etc. But for exploration and starting out, that's perfectly fine with localhost. So we go for this and create a first project and add resources. So now what we can see is we are in Coolify and we can get started. So first, let me quickly explain Coolify itself. What you have is, first of all, you have servers, and here you can see we just have this local host. You can also add more servers if you want to deploy on different servers. Then the next thing we have is we have projects on this server, and you can just go here and click add new project, and I call this services, for example, and then continue. And now I have an environment here, production is fine, and I can add resources to a project on a server. So a resource is essentially just a service that is running. It's just a script, an application, whatever. And for us to get started, we will actually get started with something that is available here in the services list. So Coolify actually has lots of services ready to deploy for you that you can just take and get started. We can, for example, what is a cool thing we could show? We could get started with convertx, which allows you to just convert any file to any format. And then we essentially just take this service, click on it, and then click on deploy. And as soon as we do this, then it's starting up this service. It's taking the code from this service and starts spinning it up. This will take about half a minute most of the time, and then it will be running. As soon as this stops, you can see that it finished, and it will also show here, it will switch this red thing to being green. Okay, so now it actually seems like it deployed, even though it's still red. But if I go here on links and then click on the link that is available here, it actually seems like it's deployed and working. And again, here we can create an account. I will go with my email and a bad password. And now this is convertx. So what this allows me to do is I can, for example, take a quick screenshot of this. And now that I have this screenshot, I can upload it here. And then I can see screenshot.png and I can just go for JPEG. And now I can convert this image to JPEG. It converts this, I can download it, and now I have a new image converted to JPEG from PNG, and it has incredible amounts of conversions, and they're especially valuable for video conversion. That's where I use it most, because it's really painful to convert like MOV to MP4 and all those things, and this tool can just do it out of the box. You will almost not find any conversion you need that is not listed here. It has really a lot. Also PDF, PowerPoint, LaTeX, HTML, it really has a lot of conversion possibilities. Another thing that is really cool is, for example, and now we can actually see it's running, so it detected that this thing is working. And now you can really start dreaming what you want to deploy. So what I will try to do is I will try to deploy this Chatwood, which is an intercom alternative. And you can see this already has multiple services that it needs to run in order to run Chatwood itself. But we just go here, deploy, and see if it's working. Sometimes you run into issues when deploying because the services are made not for ARM servers. And when we set up the Coolify server, we chose the cheapest one, which is not the most compatible one. So if you want to ensure that you don't run into those issues, you can select an Intel or AMD, and then you're sure that you won't run into issues because of the processor. But most of the time it works, and sometimes you can also ask GPT to help you out, and then it helps you fix the issues. But we can see this is deploying right now, and then we can check out the interface of Chatwood and see if it's working. So it says lots of creating and started, so it looks good. So what we can try now is go on links and then go here on the page. So when it says 404 page not found, it's often that you just need to wait a little bit, and then after some time it should be working, or it's actually the issue I mentioned. And you can recognize the issue if it says something in the logs. So you can go here on logs and then click on refresh. And if it says something like execution failure, format error, or something like this, then it's an issue with the processor, and those can be difficult to fix. But it doesn't seem to have an issue, so we just try again, and now it's running. So as always, we need to start up by creating a new account, and we finish the setup. I don't want to subscribe to newsletters, and the password was again too bad, so I will create this one password. So I finish setup, and now what we can see is I need to actually log in, and I didn't store the password, so I'm not able to. But then you can just start using Chatwood, and it's really cool. It's easy to get started. You can watch some tutorials on it, and it's essentially just showing you a similar interface like Intercom, and you can use it in a similar way. And it's free. It's the only thing you pay is your server, and you can use it for as long as it's running. So it's really cool to have stuff like this. And there are plenty of services like this, as I've shown in the beginning. I also like to deploy my own form tool because things like Typeform are lovely. I love Typeform, but paying 20 francs per month for a survey tool doesn't seem reasonable to me. So I went with formbricks.com. And this is like a really cool Formbricks form tool where you can get some insights and build some automations, etc. It's really a cool tool. So I highly recommend deploying this as well. And what I also recommend is to go on Awesome Self-Hosted, which is a GitHub repository which shows a full list of all cool self-hosted tools that are available that you can just set up on Coolify like this. So from plausible analytics to post talk to whatever, there are really lots of incredible tools. Also N8N is also available. If you want to deploy this, you can also just go here on resources, add new resource, search for N8N, and it's directly available to be deployed. So you can just one click and then deploy here, and after a while it's deployed and ready to use. So this is how you can self-host your tools on Coolify. And if you're interested how to actually make this work with your custom domain, so what you can do is you can set up your domain with Coolify. So your domain and links for Coolify won't be HTTP, chatwood, blah, 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 ip.sslip.io, but you can actually set up your own domain. So it's like chatwood.ralfbolzhauser.com, etc. And it's actually HTTPS then. But since this guide is already really long, I will take this into another video. So if you're interested in this, leave a comment and then I can show you quickly how this is done. And it's not that difficult, but you need a domain and you need to have access to the DNS records. So this is about it with Coolify. How to get started, how to set it up on Hetzner, how to set up services. And the easiest way is really to just go into your project and find the services in the services list. So what's a good idea here also is just mark all this content and then paste it into ChatGPT and ask this, which of these services are valuable to me? And then you might be able to explain some things that you want or that you need. And then you can really just try it out and deploy those services. Lots of them are really impressive, and it's crazy to me that there are free and open source software. So I highly recommend looking through them a little bit, maybe watching some tutorials on some of them, and just get started and try it out. And that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'm always happy to answer things about self-hosting and also learn from you. So if you have some cool services or tricks during setup or whatever, please share so I can pin a comment or something like this, and then the others can see it as well. So this is it with the Coolify on Hetzner deployment tutorial. Thank you so much for watching, and feel free to reach out and leave a comment. Thank you.